Hello, Jeff.
What's up, man?
My God.
Happy Tuesday.
Been a long week.
It's Tuesday.
Crazy week. No, since last time I saw you.
Last week.
been a crazy calendar.
Exciting for you. Yeah.
Crazy. Just wild, man. I mean, I had one hell of a week. I had a really good therapy session this morning.
Good.
That was good. Really needed it. Been having a hard time with my daughter, my teenage daughter. She's such an amazing, beautiful person, but I am so lost when it comes to raising a little girl at that age.
I don't know. Mine's not anywhere near that yet.
We'll be having this conversation again one day. I'm very, very, very sure of that.
4 years till she's a teenager.
Right.
Till, 13.
But that's when it just starts. So it builds from
I'm
there.
hoping we can bypass that. She is definitely not like most typical 9-year-olds. And I've only been around a handful out of my close circle of friends. We were the first to have kids. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, but everyone that she encounters and talks to and meets, everyone's like, oh, what is she, like 9? Is she like 11 or 12? And I'm like, no, she's 9 because she's taller than most kids at that age.
Yeah. Her
vocabulary, how she carries herself, very mature, but can have full-blown conversations with adults.
Sure.
And I'm guaranteeing words I never used at 9 years old. It's like,
yeah.
How do we, what? And it's funny, like doing homework. We have a first full week this week of school, and she had homework, and it's like words like frazzled, snickered, like that they're reading about. And it's funny, like thinking like you've used some of these words that are like supposed to be quote unquote new to you. Like you've used these words. And I was like, man, you're like, we already know you're ahead of your age, but it's like, it's different to see them. So I'm kind of hoping as she gets older.
Listen, I've said all those things you're saying. I've said every fucking thing that you just said. What I'm telling you now, what I'm telling the rest of this world is until you have a 15, 16-year-old girl in under your roof, there is something that I can now tell all the men and women before me that had this. I feel you. And I cannot explain to those that haven't the hypocrisies, the double standards, the double speak, the just simply not making any damn sense.
I'm
that
sure
you deal with.
More difficult now, but we can only speculate that versus when we were teenagers to now. There's a hell of a lot more things to deal with.
Totally.
Cell phones, social media, all sorts of other BS that goes along with it, let alone you'll have another driver in the house soon.
But none of the technology, none of that stuff really changes just the chemical makeup, the biological makeup and the hormonal changes and the chaos that ensues. Like you can be sailing your ship smooth and steady, and when those start coming, you're doing backflips in your sailboat.
You
know what I mean?
The technology adds to the already chaos.
It does.
It can add a little more fuel.
I can't imagine what that technology and that speed of self-soothing externally, like because you can do it like that now, right? You're not like you don't have to sit and be introspective. You just get online, right? And something will make you happy. I can't imagine what it's like to be youth today, raised with that kind of noise. Like we had enough noise.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Cell phones were just starting to come up. Well, for me, not you. My teenage years were kind of, most people didn't have them yet.
Yeah.
Couldn't text.
Right.
Texting didn't come about till end of my senior year, and it took forever anyway to do it. And most didn't have it because it was 10 cents or whatever to, text.
Yeah, man.
So it's like no one did it.
Yeah.
It's a different world.
Yeah, it is.
Let alone just online world is just filled with such bullshit that kids can go down a rabbit hole of one thing, and they search something that's what they're genuinely wanting to search. And sadly, stupid asshole people out there put things in there that should not be because they know that, this little keyword will pull, demographic in. Yeah. And it's sad.
Yeah, it works. Marketing works.
It does.
Advertising works. I've seen it, and you've seen it. Our kids are seeing it. It's ridiculous, and I could go down a rabbit hole this episode about it, but I'm not going to. Instead, what I want to talk about is this last week. Yep. And, in between where we left off last week and now, I think it's been just so wild. I was in the market trying to find an old truck, We currently have a conversion van for our family to take trips and stuff in. It's an old Chevy. It's absolutely wonderful, but Needed a truck to be able to take my lawnmower in for service if it needs it, and other random things around the house. We're going to get some gravel, we're going to do some other things. So I was not looking at newer trucks. I was looking at older carbureted trucks. I was looking at some diesels. I was trying to keep it very affordable, and I was having a hard time doing both of those together. It's like an opposing force. It's like negative and positive energies.
A lot of people now want to buy the old trucks, and they refurb them, man.
Yeah.
They make them look great.
And I saw one that was like, okay, it's definitely got some patina on the outside, a little bit of rust. It was like a mid-70s. It was a Ford or Chevy C10, and in looking at it, I was like, wow, this is the truck. This is perfect. It's got a new crate, small block in it. Everything looked good. Then I asked him a couple days later. It was after I got home from the Wu-Tang show, which obviously we talk about a little bit more. But we got home from that and went out there, or I called him and I said, hey, man, you still got it? He said, I do. I said, okay, I'll send it. I never got any interior pics. Could you send those? Just thinking it's going to be like any other old truck, torn seats, messed up, whatever. Dude, it looked like a Wolverine lived in it.
Oh.
So I said, my God, thank God I didn't drive 2 hours a day before I went to Colorado to go look at this truck.
Yeah, because you've been disappointed.
It would have been 4 hours wasted, probably 5 hours wasted. So anyway, so I go on my trip, and I see all sorts of cool stuff that I might like while I'm out there, and then I just stop looking and probably the right thing, just enjoy myself, and come back, and I continue to look, and about 3-4 ads I respond to, everyone's a damn scam, and I'm not going for like I'm not responding to ads for a $1,500, 99 Tacoma.
Yeah.
I know better. That's a collector's item. Like I know better. I'm responding to things that look very, very reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just go, there's never a response, there's anything. And there's some sort of scam, and maybe somebody will fill us in the comment section. There's something happens where these people have to put an ad up somewhere.
Yeah.
And that you put it up there, and it's just a free ad. And then you can link to that and post to it from other places. But it's all a scam. It's just to get a deposit. Because as soon as you tell somebody you're local, they just cut off you're not talking anymore.
Yeah.
So long story short, 3-4 of these go in, and I'm perturbed. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. So I had some reminders set up on Facebook, Marketplace, against my better judgment. But I did it. So I'm cutting the grass. And you know how it is lately here in Midwest, in the St. Louis region. It has been 100% humidity and in the 90s every day, which feels like 110, 115.
Oh, yeah. Brutal.
Go outside for 5 minutes and you're dumping. So anyway, I'm sweating and I'm sweating. For some reason, I had my phone in my pocket. I don't normally. I usually just use my watch and my headphones when I'm working. Well, I had my phone in there, and this notification goes off that somebody had just posted a 1987 Dodge 4x4 W150 model power Ram, 8-foot long bed, new wheels and tires, the whole thing. It's 87,000 miles, 30,000 miles on a new crate motor. Yeah, it's posted 20 minutes ago. And my hands are like 2 bowls of water.
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to grab my phone, and I'm typing schmirkenack, flicknack.
Your phones don't work good, when you're sweating to death. Like today, I was trying to check my heart rate in my watch, and it's got the play thing on for my music. And I'm just like, I need my heart rate. I need to know what it's at here.
Yeah.
Because I was running, and I was like, I want to see my heart rate. And it's like, well, that's not going to happen because I can't even touch my watch.
So I have this protective cover over my watch, right? And it had sweat trapped in between the screens, so I couldn't use that to pull up Siri. And so I had to stop mowing. I had to do all these things, and I get the text off, and I'm thinking like, man, you never know on Facebook, because if you're not friends with them, it may go to a spam folder. It may go you may not see it. So I'm cutting the grass, and now all I can think about is this truck.
Yeah,
it has all of a sudden went from a peaceful, beautiful day to
obsession,
my
can't stop
God, when is this guy going to get back to me? When is it going? So all I said in the message was, "Good morning, sir. My name's Jeremy. Live across the river in Illinois. I'm interested. I've got the means to purchase this vehicle, and I'm ready to do it. But I'd like to see it, and I'd like to see it soon." I was very direct.
Yeah,
and he responded, "I'm cutting the grass, and I'm putting the mower away, blowing everything, cleaning the grass out from underneath of it, and my phone goes off again, and I look at it." He said, "I still have it. I can show it any evening you'd like." I said, "Oh, my goodness. I can't believe this. Somebody's responding." Well, I said, "Well, how about tonight?" He said, "Well, I couldn't show it until probably about 7 or so." I said, "Well, I can do that." It's an hour drive. I'll leave at 6. I'll be there. So me and Jordan McCreary hop in the car. We drive over to far out past St. Louis there, a couple hours out or whatever, and we pull up and our jaws just drop. It just had this presence. You're like, oh my God, that looks so much better than online. And the guy's standing there and his friend's standing there, and we get out and we start chumming it up and this and that. And the guy proceeds, his buddy starts to tell me, he's like, hey man, he goes, pretty lucky. He goes, if this guy's ever selling anything, you want to be the guy to buy it. I was like, all right, cool. I know a guy like that.
Guy that takes care of his stuff.
Yeah, I know a guy like that. It's me. I do the same thing, so I can respect that. So I'm looking at the truck, and I'm seeing a lot of little things that he's done to make it nice that I would probably undo or redo. Mm-hmm. But I'm looking at the truck, and I'm going, there's no rust.
Well, dude, there's what you said, 87,000?
No, I'm sorry. It was an 87, and it had 80,000 miles.
Oh, well, either way.
Yeah.
That's...
And then 30,000 on a new motor. So it's got brand new rubber on it, brand new wheels. It's been Raptor lined, the entire thing. But I felt around the entire truck, looked underneath it. There's no rust. There was one little spot of Bondo above a rear quarter, which is normal in those trucks. And I'm surprised it didn't have more. It's got a new slider in the back, no rust around it. Interior, it looks like it had 20,000 miles on it, right?
Yeah.
AC still works, albeit a little light on the windage, but I'm fixing that. So anyway, I'm in love with it, and so
not dual fan, triple fan,
I don't have
trucks like now
6-zone climate control with cooled butt cheeks and heated steering wheel. No, but I do have winglet windows.
Yeah,
old school winglets. Which if you've never driven an old pickup truck with those and a slider, you might as well be in a Jeep.
Yeah,
I mean it really does feel nice. So anyway, I'm looking at this truck and it's got me by the plums, man. It's really got me by the plums. I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude, this is the truck that my first boss drove in the Air Force. The only truck that I want more is the first truck that I drove in the Air Force. And it's a 94 Ford F-250 long bed quad cab 7.3 diesel. Mm-hmm. I will find one day when I can afford it. But for now, this is it. So anyway, I'm oodling and Jordan's jaws dropped, and we're both just trying our best to not be like, I want it,
Yeah.
And so we go for a drive, and I come back, and God, it drives just as good as what it looks. Could tighten up the steering box just a little bit, which I did. Anyway, we get back. I said, listen, man, I said, what's it going to take to get out of this truck? And he thought I meant financially. I already knew the asking price.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to haggle with him.
Yeah.
I was asking him, what kind of shit do you need to get out of this vehicle so I could drive it home?
Yeah.
Right? So I'm cracking up inside because I'm realizing that he's responding. He's chipping away at his own number. While I'm just saying, how can I drive this thing home?
You need things out of your glove box, what's under the seat,
right.
behind the seat.
All right, yeah. I saw there's a tool bag. So anyway, none of that really matters because at the end of the encounter or the happening, I said, I hope you understand I couldn't just go and get this much cash out today. Are you okay if I write you a check? I said, you can take a picture of my photo ID, my military ID, whatever you'd like to do. Hell, I might even show you my account to show you it matches and it's got the money in it. Whatever you want. Wouldn't do it. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to lose this truck. Wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
And he's like steadfast. A 50-year-old man. He ain't bullshitting me.
Yeah.
He's not some kid. And I was like, all right, okay, so then how do we make this work? I said, bottom line is, I'm here. I want this truck. I got the money. I said, I can't go get the cash out now. There's no way I can get all that cash out right now.
You only get so much out of an ATM at one time.
Exactly.
You'll send some real big flags up. You start hitting random ATMs.
Right, just draining your account. So anyway, he's like, listen. He said, you got the money at home? I go, well, I'll have it at home. I said, tomorrow morning I'll call up my bank and I'll make sure that it's there. And he says, he looks at his buddy. He goes, what are you doing tomorrow? He goes, man, I'm off tomorrow.
No way.
He goes, you gonna be home? I said, fuck. I said, I'm busy as balls, but I'll make myself home. He said, how about I deliver this truck to you tomorrow?
Wow.
I said, you're gonna drive this truck that you're selling to me for less than your asking price? Yep. All right, man. All right, something's going on here. Like something in the universe is like, it's on all cylinders.
Yeah.
And I'm feeling it. I'm fucking buzzing, man. My skin's vibrating. I'm tingling. The hair's standing up on the back of my neck. I'm like, listen. I said, are you sure? I said, because you go home tonight and somebody calls you and says, I'll offer you X amount more. What are you going to do? And he goes, dude, it's your truck. He said, I'm going to sell it to you. And he goes, do me a favor. He goes, when you he goes, make sure you do with it and you keep it like what you like. You're excited now. He said, I'm really looking forward to seeing when, online when your daughter's driving it.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, it's sort of cool. And I didn't know it, but he really, really, well, let me get to that. I digress. Let me go back. So anyway, he tells me, he goes, it's yours. I said, all right, cool. I feel good. I said, Jordan, what do you think? Jordan said, man, what are you going to do, right? So we go home. That night, I'm having a hard time sleeping. I'm like fucking thinking about the truck. I'm like, please don't sell it from underneath of me. Oh, it's fucking horrible, man. I'm thinking about the textured surface that's no longer going to be rusted. It just can't. Like, all these things are going through my mind, and I'm like, okay, if I don't get it, there's a reason. Just like that old Chevy C10.
Yeah.
There's a reason. So I start, all right, I get some sleep. Next day, I wake up to a message from him, and I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, because you're like, oh,
this is going to be bad. I'm like, all right, I look at it, like through my fingers, and I'm looking at the message, and it says, would 3 o'clock be too late? No, man.
Perfect.
Fucking no, 3 o'clock is not too late. I'm going to move everything around. I will be here at 3 o'clock. So 1 o'clock rolls around. My wife calls me, and she says, hey, don't forget Nora's got her doctor's appointment today.
No.
I'm like, when is that?
3
o'clock. All right. So it's now it's probably 1:32. I don't know. It's getting close to be when he's going to be leaving. So I sent him a message. I said, man, you're not going to believe this. I said, I forgot my daughter's got an appointment. Not only is it an appointment, it's her OB appointment, and it's a follow-up, and it's important. And he goes, no worries. He goes, we'll stop and get some lunch on the way.
Good man.
Call me whenever you're done. I'm like, I have been in this man's situation and treated other people that way before.
Yeah.
I've never, Jeff, let me tell you right now, I have never in all of my life realized that kind of kindness. I've had it before, but now I can see it. I could feel it.
Yeah.
And I knew when it was being offered. He shows up. I show up. I'm an hour and a half late. It's 4:30. He sat in a restaurant with his buddy, shooting the shit, just waiting for me. He gets there, and he's sort of laughing. He goes, no worries, man. He goes, we had a great time. And I said, did you go to the restaurant? I said, yes. He goes, no, we just went to Subway. I'm like, whatever, dude. This guy is way too easy.
True trust him,
It's so easy, God.
Get my sub.
So he says, but, he goes, I will tell you. He goes, I just got on the phone with yet another person that offered me more than my asking price. He goes, but I told him I was selling it to a veteran that deserved it.
Oh.
And I was like, fuck. I had tears in my eyes. It was hard to hold him back, but I did. And I told him, I said, I can't tell you enough. I said, I don't normally get this kind of an action towards me, but I notice it for what it is, and I'm very grateful, and I thank you for this. I said, don't worry. I said, I will be passing it along. It will be, it won't get lost on me. And so anyway, wonderful person. I got to cruise out to his place sometime, pick up some other old like original wheels and stuff that he's got, and an old piece of glass for the back. But at the end of all that, I guess what I'm going to tell you is I was patient. I knew something wasn't right before. Yeah. But the universe told me how to get around it. Hey, take a few days, go see your buddies, you just get out of this. So I did it, came back, started to get wrapped up in that mindset again. And it's probably no different than when somebody goes and looks at a 2021 Ford Bronco that costs $50,000. It's the exact same thing. You go home, you're like, oh, yeah, like obsessing about it.
Well, that's with anything. It doesn't have to be something brand spanking new to have this excitement for. Like
that's a very good point. And
if it's something you've been searching for or whatever, like my wife with doing like interior design stuff, she's been looking for some stuff that's not been sold. It's outdated things.
Right.
And this one company she follows and sometimes gets stuff for the home decor. They will find things that are no longer made from years past.
Yeah.
From other designers, et cetera. No different than, finding an old vehicle.
Of course, yeah.
It's the same thing. It is not brand new. It might have some nicks. Like we have these shelves. There's these bamboo rattan.
Oh, I've seen them. The rounded ones. Yeah, those are cool.
Those are not brand spanking new. Those are used. They've not been made for how long?
Yeah.
last year dealing with a lady in New York trying to figure out shipping. How can we get these damn things shipped to us?
Right.
They built custom crates for these things and how they wrap the glass and this and that. Like her excitement with those things, and they are scratched up. They're used, but they don't make them.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, that looks good because those marks look good, and then the glass, this and that, like it doesn't fit perfect because but it's the history and like the character and kind of the charm of those pieces that makes it like, wow, that it's not brand spanking new out of the box. And sometimes those are like the best thing. Like I was talking with one of my buddies the other day, like we talk about lifting stuff. I got this old bench. It's spray painted pink. It's like the one where you can put the bar on. Little ones you buy at the sports shop. She was moving somewhere and she goes, I'm just going to toss it at the dumpster back at the old CrossFit gym. And I go, I'll take it.
Right.
The bench is falling apart. I have it, Gorilla taped. I got a moving pad on top of it because it's literally crumbling underneath me. And I'm like, telling my buddy, I'm like, he's like, yeah, you're going to get a new bench. I'm like, I literally am now going to have to. I think it's probably 8. I've had it for maybe 8 years. Who knows how long she had it. Sure. But it's crumbling. But I remember when I got it, I was like, man, that's so great. I can do incline bench. I can do regular, I can do decline.
And you didn't have to spend anything.
It had a little, leg extension curl on it. And I couldn't get much on it because the bar's like this. But I'm like, oh, dude, this is going to be so great. And still, when I see it and use it, it still brings me excitement. Or like the farmer carry bars that my father-in-law built. They're not brand spanking new. Like some of those things getting used or no matter what time frame it came from, you having a passion or wanting it is the excitement of waiting. Oh man, I can't wait till it arrives.
You're right.
It doesn't have to be.
It's so good to hear you say that too, because I catch myself a lot over the past few days, like feeling a guilt, much like a guilt I would have felt if I went and bought a $50,000 new car and had a payment. But here's the rub. There's no payment.
Yeah.
Paid cash. It's worth more than I bought it for. It's an investment. It's a collector's item. I have to give myself a break, as we all do sometimes. But now I'm seeing it for what it is. I've been beating myself up for buying something with the money I earned from my fucking hard work. I've been beating myself up and making myself feel like I didn't deserve it, which I don't mean like I deserve to be true. No, I mean, just like we all say, I work hard for it. I'm going to get something that makes me happy. Yeah. Last week I said I'm tired of chasing my dream. I'm going to start living it.
Yeah.
Jeff, when I get in that truck and I shut the door and I start it right up and I drive it down the road and an old man raises his hat at me.
Feels good. That's kind of like a truck thing. Even if it's new or old, you kind of, and especially if you get a little further out into our country areas around here, it doesn't matter if you got the oldest truck that's on the road or brand spanking new. Because some of these guys in the country drive like some of these 350, 450 Platinums. It's like, dude, you're driving around in a 6-figure truck right now on the road.
But it's probably also assigned to a farm.
But yes.
And they have farm taxes and farm plates. And it's all cheap.
They're pulling. Yeah. They're using it for its intended purposes. Like me,
right.
I don't need something. What the hell am I going to do with it? Just be me in a big ass truck for the hell of it. Yeah. Type thing. But it's always those things. You'll see those guys, you'll see on the steering wheel real quick, just little those, or if it's not blazing hot out, windows are down, and it's just arm out the window.
Dude, I was in Ace Hardware the other day picking up some Velcro for my pedal board for my bass, and I was just standing there and I was measuring out a couple feet of Velcro, and gentleman walks up and sort of seeks me out, and he goes, "Is it your rig out there?" I was like, I knew what he was talking. I mean, how can he be talking about my truck? It's just, it fucking sits out like a sore thumb. And I said, "Yeah, man." I said, "It is." He goes, "It's good." That's what he said, man. It was so cool. He goes, "It's good.
Yeah,
it's good." It was like this weird, like you could have really fucked that up, or maybe it shouldn't be here, but that's cool that you still got that and it still fires, still works. So, I can't take any of the credit for any of that. But I'm damn sure going to take the credit for what I do from this point forward.
No.
And I'm going to do my best to make sure that I take care of it and improve it along the way. But I did tell my wife last night. She was very proud of me, and so was I. I said, you know what? I don't have to do anything to it today or tomorrow. Nothing.
You got time.
I don't have to do anything. And she sat back and she said, well, I'll be goddamn. She said, I've never heard you say that before about something new. She goes, you always just like attack.
That is true. Anything you kind of put your hands on,
it goes full bore.
It's not like, here's what we all can buy at the store, and then here you are with 10 boxes of, improvements to take it to another level.
Right.
But with vehicles and in most things now, that's the world. People have built great businesses off of being able to, like, all the stuff in this room, like, or like Josh's shop, all the badass toys he has or things you've done. Well, hell, go to your garage and every skateboard, like, guy could be like, dude, why do you need 1,000 skateboards? You only can use one, type thing. But each one has its specific purpose.
Yeah, it's very odd. It's very odd.
Exactly the toolbox.
Yeah.
Each tool has its purpose.
Right. And at a certain point in my life, I was sharing my tools and that passion with my children and my wife. Mm-hmm. And when one of us went skating down the road, the other three followed.
Yeah.
So I did everything I could to make damn sure that we were all in a position to where nobody was left out. And if you wanted to do it, don't have to. But if you want to, go pick up your weapon.
Yeah.
Let's go for a ride. And they can still do that and still do sometimes. So the same reason why we got, a couple BMX bikes hanging up and a couple, 10 speeds or 12 speeds or whatever the hell they call them now. When my son and I ride around the neighborhood on our BMX bikes, it's bonding. It's like,
it's just kind of cruising.
Fucking Goonies shit, man. Like E.T. stuff. It's just sharing moments. It's not playing video games. It's not doing that. It's going back to something before that. Sitting on my back porch is communal for me. Mm-hmm. Not just because I often sit back there and enjoy some cannabis at the end of the day. No, that's where my friends go to cry. That's where I go to laugh. That's where we go to embrace each other and tell each other it's okay. Mm-hmm. Well, when I'm at the gas station and a 75-year-old guy walks up to me and we start chatting about the truck, there's something else that goes on there. It's more of a communal experience.
It's like the Ram. It's like I can think of, my grandpa had an old Ram before he got a newer one and, before he passed, but I can think of his old one that had the old Ram actually on the hood.
Oh, you'll see it today. Yeah, you haven't seen it yet, but it's got it.
Like, I can think of that single cab, his truck, and it was like a dark blue and then like a lighter blue, like a pinstripe to it.
Oh.
And that was his farm truck, and dude had everything in it and tool, nook and cranny, all the little custom things he built. But it's the nostalgia that like takes you back to like those gentlemen or ladies who see it. Like, to me, I'll probably instantaneously think of my grandpa because that's what he had, that exact same style truck that, I've seen the pictures of.
Yeah.
Or like, it just takes people back to those memories of a good time, like the fun rides they had in dad's truck, or maybe they own that truck and the fun rides they had with their kids, their grandkids and stuff like that. Like it brings those. And it's not to say that a new vehicle can't bring back memories, but like my new truck, and we have good memories, but my red truck, which was my first lifted one, fun road trips Kelly and I went to, when we first got together, float trips. That's the truck we brought Reese home in the hospital. All the, all the places we went with her and that thing. Just I wanted to keep it for her when she turned 16. Well, it wasn't in the cards, Engine, new engine, transmission, things that like, is it worth to put in?
Especially if you don't own it outright. If you don't own it 100% and you're putting money
I
in.
did, but the value,
the value.
Then you start looking at the value of what your truck's worth. It's like, dude, I'm putting more in than what the rest of this can be scrapped as kind of thing. And it comes to those things, but it's when you get something that is brand spanking new, you build those, and then when it becomes a little older, you sit there and look at it in the garage or the driveway and going, yeah, I bought that. Or, I remember that one ride we did this. Like, I'll think of picking up the cow with the pup on the ride, like the journey we had, trying to go in the middle of nowhere, no service, no nothing. And it's like, well, the GPS is no longer working.
Right, yeah.
Where is this place?
What do we do?
Well, I got to find like a hill peak where I can find service for this dude to get back to me going, dude, where's your farm? There's nothing labeled to find these guys. But to think of the journey that we had that day, just to go out and cruise, listen to music, podcasts, and just dog?
Dude, I know, man. I know. I remember sitting in my grandpa's old Chevy Silverado pickup truck, out on the farm, dusty, and just whether they were going to get to the tractor or bring the tractor home or the horses or whatever they're doing, it was something about that is so nostalgic. And yes, there is a level of attachment there to that nostalgia. Mm-hmm. But I am not willing to let go of that because I don't think that's unhealthy. I think it's wonderful to be able to look back and view those great times, because for much of my life, mark my words, I forgot about all the good times I had when I was younger, and I only dwelled on the bad shit.
Well, it's kind of what we've talked about before, and people probably have seen tons of these things, is if you take a moment and really wholeheartedly reflect, put some effort into this, maybe set some time aside sometime this week or a day, an hour, and look back at your life, however old you are, whether 44, soon to be 38 here, and pick out the good moments and memories and just think those typically do outweigh the bad.
Yeah.
You just tend to kind of hold on to the bad things. Those kind of seem to radiate because that is plays a bigger function in the kind of day-to-day operation of your emotions and how you operate now.
Yeah.
But reflect on those. Like, think about time with friends as a kid, grandparents, family, or whatever, or being at the park, whatever, something with a pet. Think of those little moments and just, eat it up, because you could be sitting alone, and if you had, a mirror in front of your face, I guarantee you, just sitting there, closing your eyes, reflecting, if you opened your eyes and there's a mirror in front of you, you'd just have this big smirk on your face.
Right.
You'd just be like a kid on Christmas morning thinking about those memories.
Right.
You talking about your truck, I can think about sitting in the front seat, literally in my grandpa's lap, driving to Hardee's back in the day when they had fried chicken. Let's go way back.
Right.
Into town, but no one was going to say a word because there's a kid sitting in the lap, and he'd be driving, you'd be sitting there, and he'd be just, on the side of you, and you'd be like, oh, man, I'm driving.
Yep.
And all that. And then I can think all the time, be like, let's go. Yeah, let's go. You want to go? Let's go to the store. Yeah. Where are we going? Get to sit in the, right there, and, no seatbelt kind of thing. Not to say I'd preach that now, that would be good, but
right. But that innocence was
back in the time different. When the world moved a little slower, it seemed.
Yeah, totally.
You took in the sights out the window because we're not staring down at the technology of what's in our palm. I notice my daughter will sometimes, we almost home? I'm like, look out the window. Oh, yeah, we're almost home. You recognize the neighborhood or the schools, the churches that you pass, it's good to, on the way here, doing the breathing exercises again, and just taking in the different all the cornfield. I'm basically passing. Sure. There are a few neighborhoods, but taking in just the beauty. Yeah, it's not mountains. It's not a beach, but it's
there is
nature.
A beauty to it that the nation's food, for the most part, has historically come from right here.
To me, it's a nostalgia coming from a family.
And our families took part in that. In that process,
and that's what makes me see. There's not a lot of activity in the fields, but when it comes to harvest here in the next couple of weeks, or when it's planting season, it's just like, man, it's good to sit and just kind of envelop yourself in the nostalgia and the world around you, thinking I remember being out in the fields doing this, or the woods, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Taking those memories in as you kind of see it out the window versus letting the technology, we can pull up our favorite artist or favorite playlist, hit the book that we want or the podcast, to just sit in your vehicle, whether new or old, and take in the sights that do change, but really don't change over the course of a lot of time. Maybe some houses, but the overall landscape is still kind of the same.
Yeah.
Drive down that road and just take it in. Look.
Yeah, man. It's it's really cool. It's I think that I don't know, I'm sort of lost for words when it comes to the description of the feeling that I have. And I've talked ad nauseum about not letting external things dictate your happiness. I think what I'm realizing now, and I'm not taking back any of what I said because I still mean it, what I'm realizing now is that where I may have gone and I may have bought that truck with a credit card when I was 25.
Yeah.
and not giving a shit, and then paid on it like it was a fucking car payment with 20% interest or whatever, because I was dumb. I lived my life for things. Now I paid cash, my cash, my cash that I had to save, but I still have I'm still fighting the same feelings of regret and remorse. But just like I talked with my therapist today, he's like, your emotions are working off of muscle memory right now.
Yeah.
He said you have to sit down and just fucking sit and let yourself realize that you've done a lot of work. But just like with that truck upstairs in my garage, I don't have to go do shit to it today.
Yeah.
And if I want to take today, after we get done with this, like I'm going to, and just go sit down and just probably read a little bit, and probably call it a day, because I need that, because I've been overthinking everything.
Yeah, that's a lot of people, I think, need to do those things, and it's easier said than done. But to take the moment to sit, maybe do nothing for a little bit, read the book that you've been wanting to, or pick it back up, listen to just some good music, sit outside and have a drink or smoke, whatever it may be. Take those little moments and have them, because they will greatly kind of rejuvenate who you are. Like something my wife said the other day she read is, people who are always in a rush are typically the most unhappy. I'm not a slow-moving person.
Yep.
When we walk, I'm moving with a purpose. I don't know. Like, and to sit there, and she said it to me multiple times since last week of, reading me that quote, and I'm like, okay, well, why am I always trying to rush? Well, one, patience isn't one of my biggest virtues. I don't like being late to things, but when I walk, I do walk. If I go to the grocery store, like, I don't cruise. It's like boom in, boom out.
Yeah.
In and out, in and out.
Yeah.
Just sit there and going, okay, let's slow it down a little bit.
Yep.
Not put the foot down on the pedal. And I'm not speed racing when I drive, but.
No, but it is metaphorical for exactly what you're talking about. Like when you head into a store, we all do it. You have a list. It's aisle 7, 13, and 5.
Yep.
That's it. Anybody gets in my way, I can go down this aisle. I'm going to fucking come back. They're not going to get in my way. And if somebody is in front of me in the line, I will be impatient.
I tried to do that the other day. We needed a few quick things from the store. Lo and behold, normal checkout. Everything's backed up into the freezer section. Go to the express checkout. Everything's backed up to the entrance area. And I'm like, all right, get in line, nothing. And then just listen to people. Lady in front of me is on her, she's got her pods in, having a conversation. Guy behind me is using the walkie-talkie app thing on the phone. I'm like,
oh, Jesus.
Like, dear God, dude, you at least could put headphones in. He's like, I guess he's talking to his wife. In the line. It's packed. We're barely moving. Lady in front of me, this and that.
Yeah.
She's got more than the minimum items. Dude behind. Counting's hard for some people, and I'm sitting here going, dude, don't shut up.
Yeah. And
then she's putting stuff up there, and then she's doing this, and he's like, yeah, I see why counting's hard. She pulled out her, WIC card, food stamp card. She didn't hear him because she had the headphones in.
So that's when my compassion turns to rage.
That I assume she still was in conversation on the phone with somebody. Now, outside looking in, she had a lot of designer things and some very, very expensive stuff that I would never own because it doesn't pique my interest. But I know for some ladies, they might take some of these brands, and be like, oh. And it's just like, I want to be like, dude, shut up. You look like Dwight Trash. Yeah, she's portraying a particular, looking like a hood rat. Right. And you're both going to bring out the worst in each other. Shut up. Thankfully, she couldn't hear him.
Yeah.
I put my stuff up on the belt, like looking at him like, dude, what did you accomplish? We're all in this stupid line. I wanted to get out of here because I'm starving.
Yeah.
We thought we had something for dinner, but didn't. So I was like, I'll run real quick. And lo and behold, it took a hell of a lot longer than expected, but it's just like.
Yeah, man.
I try to be at those times. Then I have other times where I don't, but it's trying to recuperate and put them into play, like when it's other times. Like,
yeah, you've got to be able to pick up the pieces, put your little mosaic back together, and every time you do it, it's going to have different fragments. It's going to glean different light. It's going to show you different things. But every time you crumble, as long as you're willing to put it all back together and admit that it's okay to do that, the next time you crumble, it will be less, fewer, farther in between.
And I didn't even, the entire time in the line, text the wife a few times, letting her know, hey, This is how long the lines are. Be a bit, oh, okay. Saw the one neighbor, and he was in the other line. Hey, how you doing? Good, good. But just listened. Looked around the store. Had to walk through the floor, smelling the cinnamon, brooms that come out for fall, looking at the different flowers. And it's like just taking in everything around. The people, like you can see the people looking like, oh, I forgot that. Oh, I got to go get that. Oh, I wonder what aisle that's in. Or like looking down the aisles, I could see going,
People look at you weird if you're walking down the aisle and you don't look like you got an agenda.
Yeah, you know, there are the few people that cruise. My wife's one of those when she goes to the store. Last time I went to one of our big warehouse stores here, Sam's, I slowed down. I kind of cruised.
Yeah.
Because I got to one area and I go, oh, I got to go to the back of the store. I forgot to get this. Instead of like pushing that cart like a sled, it's just like.
But how funny is it that while you're doing that, this is all, I'm just hyperbole, so bear with me, but it's things I've seen and things I know that you were probably aware of on that day. When you get to that place where you actively say, I want to slow down, and then you do it, not only do you start seeing how briskly and frantic everybody around you is moving, but you start to become the nuisance. Why is this guy walking so fucking slow in front of me? And then somebody starts talking about you, and you're like, well, fuck. Well, I hope you have a better day. I'm sorry if I got in your way. But they don't see that.
And usually the aisles are big enough that you can bypass traffic, kind of like the highway, but sometimes it doesn't. But
for every plus, there's a negative. Every pull, there's a push. You know that. When you're standing in line and the person in front of you is bitching, and the person behind you is bitching, and the person over there is bitching, and you're just sitting there going...
I laugh, but then I could see an old union worker. He had his shirt on, a Schnucks guy who had gotten off work, who was getting his stuff to go home, having full-blown conversation. Oh, yeah, work for the union. I could hear him work for, whatever union, this, and that. Oh, yeah. And the Schnucks workers, their union, they got their own thing, and he's talking about that. He goes, oh, yeah, it's good to be in. He goes, yeah, crazy times, this and that, and all that. And then they were talking like, oh, I guess they were talking about grilling. I think he was going to smoke something the next day or whatever.
Right.
But to hear random conversations that we were all forced to be slowed down to have, it's a time where a lot of strangers don't want to have conversations with each other, but it's good to see some people just chatting it up for no damn reason.
Yeah.
Oh man, it looks like you're going to have a great dinner.
Yeah.
Making some, whatever's in the cart.
If you just stop, and my mom taught me this. Thank you, Mother. I know you're going to hear this. Thank you for the hours of reminding me. Every time I started to, but Mom, why this? Mom, why does, Mom, I feel like this. Mom, why aren't they? And she says, shut up. Compassion. She said, as soon as you find compassion for, she didn't say this part, but that young lady behind the counter.
Oh, I had for...
You automatically have compassion for everybody else that's affected by that. But most importantly, everybody in that line should be saying to that young lady, sweetheart, it's okay. Take your time. We are not in a rush because we have prepared our days to not be in a fucking rush because you need our help right now. What you don't need is 8 sick motherfuckers complaining because they can't get home to drink their Budweiser or to fucking eat their ribs or to fucking kick their dog or whatever it is they're going to do. People, it is no measurement of health to be measured against a sick society.
Yeah.
I just said this. It wasn't exact, but when you find yourself looking at people going, that doesn't seem right, but everybody's doing it, that doesn't mean you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Stay the course. Don't give in. Don't fall back into the shit. If you've been working hard to be a better person, don't give up because it doesn't seem like it's working externally. You don't have any other fucking choice because when you know the difference between living in that way, living good for the truth and the light and the energy, when you know and you still decide to go and live that old way, that other way, the universe will not be kind to you.
Mm-hmm. It'll fight back.
It's going to fight back.
It'll let you know as little bits here and there, or it'll be a big whammy. Unfortunately,
yeah, man. I mean, I've had it happen to me. I had it knock the shit out of me. I'm not making this shit up. I'm not preaching from a pedestal. It's just experience. I've seen it. So when I'm standing in that line, like you were, or like I was at the Apple store some 15 episodes ago or something, and you're listening to people bitch and complain, and you're just thankful.
There's nothing
to be
worse
there.
than the technology aspect of people bitching when their phones aren't doing their thing. And I've been in that case. And it's just, to me, I remember when that happened, it was like freedom. I'm like, I'm not being mean, but God, all the people I have to deal with in my job, they can't text me, call me. And it's just like, dude, I got guaranteed freedom until this new phone gets activated because the other one shot the shit. I'm like, I'm just going to chill.
Man, have you ever had one of these employees, usually a young guy or gal in one of these stores, tell you, hey, man, thank you for being patient. Thank you for being kind. Yeah. They shouldn't have to say that.
No,
it should be the opposite.
Be a mutual thing that I'm coming to you for service. You're the person who's providing me the service.
Yeah.
It should be a mutual.
Of course.
Like, and I remember that time he's like, oh, it's taking a little bit for this. And I go, hey, man, dude, I got everything backed up to the cloud. I just need the contacts pulled over, photos, whatever doesn't hit. Yeah. I don't care, man. I'll get it later that day.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, whatever.
But we all make that decision. We all make that choice to speak out, to lash out, to let our indecency and our indignity come to the surface. And all of a sudden you start speaking out of turn in line like a fucking asshole because of how your boss treated you and he dehumanized you and emasculated you. So you went home and took it out on somebody, but that didn't work because they lashed out on you because that's what loved ones do. So you go to the store and you fucking take it out on some poor girl in the checkout aisle. Well, I hope whoever you were or whoever you are, and you've done that, hears this and knows that you will be fucking dealt with accordingly one day. Mm-hmm. That's all there is to it. Whether it'll be by the front of a truck or by your own hand or by the universe's hand, karma will come back. And the times that you punished other people because you were sad or scared will come back. Mm-hmm. And it's going to fucking suck because you're going to cry like a baby. It's going to hurt so bad when you realized how much of a fucking asshole you've been.
Yeah, you might be on the other end of it.
You might end up being on the other end. You might end up getting shit canned from your fucking football team that you coach. Yeah. You might never get a coach or a parent or anybody come to check on you. You might be left for fucking dead. You might be.
Yeah.
That's what happened to me. People just fucking don't know. Oh, my God, what the fuck? Bye, run, see you, peace, out.
Yeah.
And here I am. I might as well have been laying on the ground with a fucking bullet wound, and my whole fucking squadron is taking off.
Just walking on by.
Peace, see ya. So forgive me if I get a little passionate about this, but I've experienced a lot of fucking trauma and a lot of heartache. And I feel that hurt and that heartache. It comes back to me in droves when I see people being bullied, when I hear about people being picked on, when I hear about somebody's kid taking their own life because work was so stressful or school was so fucking hectic and there was so much piled on them. And none of us did anything. We, parents, adults, sat back and allowed it to fucking happen.
Yeah, life should be enjoyed. You're going to have the rough moments as naturally, but no day in and day out, job, school, etc. should be so miserable that life doesn't have a fun existence anymore.
Totally. Yeah. But that's got to start at home. Kid wakes up in the morning.
Well, it should be a societal thing, sadly, that to work, school, and all these things should not be constant, that there has to be a balance to the life force.
Right.
Yeah, okay, if you don't study for this 1 hour, will the world end? No. If I don't work an extra 2-3 hours, will this end? Maybe you got to get the project done. Cool. But it doesn't need to be that way all day, every day, 24/7, because life no longer becomes enjoyable. You become a drone, a robot of society, and you're not really useful anymore.
Check this out. Here's one to make your fucking head spin. All you parents out there, anybody that's got kids in school, check this out. My daughter's in honors classes across the board. And she always, as soon as the opportunities presented themselves, she took them. Mm-hmm. She ran with them. She's always the top of her class. She is a fucking pleasure to have in the classroom. That's all we ever hear, right? But at home, we see a little girl that is under so much pressure that she's placing on herself because of external sources of pressure, right? Friends, school, social media, maybe even perceived family. Maybe she thinks that we think she has to do it.
Yeah.
Even though dad's told her numerous times, sweetheart, you need to take a break. And I don't mean a summer break. I mean, instead of taking a full load in high school of classes that are preparing you for college and you don't even know if you want to go to college, why don't you take one class that's just for you?
Mm-hmm.
Go do something that's for you. Say, fuck everybody else. And before you do anything else that day, that's the class that you deal with first.
Yeah.
Whether it's reading, whether it's math, whether it's fucking social science, poli-sci,
sure,
whatever.
That's why you got your gen eds that you can pick some things that have interests outside the major, in a sense.
But let me ask you this, okay? So I'm asking you directly. Your daughter goes to school, takes on the heaviest load, keeps doing gymnastics, whatever she's doing, but you can see it's a cycle of trying to achieve, and maybe you achieve or you don't, but you keep striving, keep going.
Searching for that perfection.
That is almost like chasing a dragon, like a heroin addict, right? Yeah. It's almost like you're never going to get that, right? So stop. What do you do when you notice that your child is pushing too much? It's too hard. How do you approach that? Because when I go to a teacher, I say, I don't think my daughter should be in all of these classes. Not because she's not smart enough, but because it's too much stress. They look at me like I'm the crazy one. Well, your daughter, she's going to have a full ride at any university. No. You're not hearing me.
But that's
the human inside of there
is benefiting her as she can't make to the point to get that offer.
The human inside there is freaking the fuck out and does not want all of this shit. I can see it. It's my fucking little girl. I can see it in her eyes. She doesn't want any of this chaos, but it's all around her. Succeed more. Be prettier.
Well, especially being in those types of classes, there's that added. I've never was in one of those, so I can't speak of it. But I trained some young athletes and stuff that are in those types of classes that the pressure is higher because you're doing higher level classes. They expect you to knock out stuff,
Dude, she had to work on a project all summer.
Yeah, I'm sure. I know they do some crazy shit.
Between 9th and 10th grade.
The books that they had to read, like the one guy, he had to do all these things he had to knock out over the summer. And he's like, yeah, I got like 3 weeks, and he knocks it all out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of pressure put on them. And I think as a parents, we have to teach children there is no possibility of perfection.
Yeah.
You want to attain this, 4.0 or whatever the scale is at your school. You want to change that, which, yes, you can get, but
yeah.
There are plenty of geniuses who got 2.0s, millionaires, billionaires that got those. And there are geniuses who didn't go to college. Chasing the dragon of perfection of everything must be like this. Like I can see when my daughter writes or does something, it has to be perfect. And her handwriting is like beautiful. Gets it from her mother, not me. But yeah, it won't be right. Race. And it's just like, why? It didn't look good. Like she was racing in a circle last night. I go, what does that matter? It didn't look good. It's just a circle, babe. You're circling your answer on your homework.
And think like when she's 40 and she goes back and she cracks open the shoebox of all the shit she did, right? She's going to look at it. And what if everything was perfect? When you're an adult, isn't it nice to look back and say, wow, look at the growth? What if you look back and you're like, fuck, I haven't changed at all. I've been the exact same for 30 years. I was perfect then, I'm perfect now. Go me.
Well, I think it'd be I
don't think, you know what I mean? I think that does affect people.
Yeah, it gets
you have to be able to mess up.
Yeah,
right.
It gets in the way of those things.
So
Reese's your errors with erasing things. I think that, but I think she's getting a little better with it. But it's like it doesn't matter so long as it's circled. It's
right.
Not a perfect circle. You're circling the answer. So what? Okay, that number doesn't look good.
Right. And, it's important, I think, for them to be able to take onus of things like, well, that's how I would have spelled the word, I'll look at this box, contact, and that's how I'll spell it. But this C is that's my C. That's how I make a C. That's how my hand does it. I'm comfortable with it. It doesn't look exactly like your C, but that's mine.
Yeah.
Instead, no. This doesn't look like the exact image that we all have to portray. Let me erase this. Let me put on my fucking facade.
With her
now I look just like everyone else.
When she was writing, they didn't do that because some of her letters, she puts little things to them, and she can do a little bit of cursive and stuff. She'll do her little flair on some letters and numbers, and that's good because we all have unique handwriting. That's the whole point.
Of course.
Especially for the generations that have cursive, like that makes us unique. The angle of how the letter and the word is put, like a signature. Everyone's unique to it. It's like your
part of our history. Yeah,
I think that's good. But yeah, like she wants it to look good. Like when she writes, or she had to draw a picture from the story that they were reading. Kind of like, what is a picture that encaptures the chapters we read? So, and she was like, Oh, and she tells me about I do that perfect.
Yeah.
She had something here. No, I didn't put it here because it makes more context here than there. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Which I've not read it, so I don't know. Maybe it does make sense to be on the left than the right. But it's kind of funny, like achieving the that kind of a little better, but it's okay. But she's starting to kind of ease up on herself. But at times, I think it's just the pressure that kids put on themselves. One, because thankfully they want to do their best.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're trying to do their best is thinking that perfection is the only option and nothing else. That the A- is still just as good as the A+.
Yeah.
Or the B. Got to get really a little different. That, oh my God, I got a C. Big deal. Is the joke has always been, C's get degrees, you know? Man. Yeah. It wasn't until my second time in school that I was on honors and had all the, cool, graduated with honors and all the flashy little blah, 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 blahs that come with the degree. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Is it cool? Yeah, because I'm proud. I worked my ass off to do that, but
what if you didn't? You'd still be a great person.
I'd still have the fun little piece of paper sitting in its little thing, the game. Yeah. I'd still have that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a little extra sense of pride that comes with it. I didn't get perfect, 4.0, graduate college, but you know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
I think it's just each individual's way of doing it, trying to achieve their level of perfection. I think certain kids and adults are trying to shoot for the absolute perfect of perfection when they don't really realize yet that that's not obtainable. You can't meet that mark.
That mark will seek you out. It will find you. That peak that you're searching for. Mm-hmm. It will find you.
You will be there at times.
It will find you.
You can't be at that peak. You can't be at Everest every day.
No, you can't.
You can't survive.
There will be a point where you go, holy fuck, that peak has been here the entire fucking time. I just couldn't see it.
Yeah.
It'll happen. It happens for all of us, right?
It does.
It's pretty fucking neat. And I think that sometimes, whether it's a car that speaks to you, what if, I guess what I'm trying to say is, what if we flip the script? What if we said as humans, our objects were going to choose us based on how perfect we were?
That'd be interesting.
What if you went looking for cars and you happened upon a BMW 5 Series that looked at you and went, nah, man, I'm not for you, buddy.
That'd be me going to like one of those. It'd be like, no, we're not for each other.
Dude, I had that moment. I bought a BMW X5, big V8 fucking motor, had the M package, all that shit. It was beautiful. It's been years ago. I drove that car for less than a year. Luckily, I found it was certified pre-owned. I didn't pay all that money for it, but less than a year, I got out of that truck to go into a restaurant to eat a meal, and all I could think to myself was, that's not my truck. What am I doing in that thing? It wasn't a truck. It was an SUV. Mm-hmm. But what am I doing in that? So I think, like, if you could say, okay, I'm going to go looking for an old car. Well, I looked at that old Chevy. The Chevy told me it was not for me.
Yeah.
I looked at this Dodge. This Dodge saw me coming, and I saw it coming.
It's the universe's way of talking to you, to letting you know, like, you're on the right path. You might be lost for a few moments.
Yes.
But it will present itself when it is the right time for both of you to emerge onto that new path of life.
Bro, you just this is why this is so perfect with you and I. You just took the words out of my mouth that I knew I was going to have a hard time saying. So thank you.
Hey, welcome.
You were right. It's the universe saying, hey, like Matthew McConaughey said in his new book, if you haven't listened to it, not read it, I would go listen to the audiobook.
It's my next one.
Fucking unreal.
I want to hear it in his voice.
He says, green light. And that's when you know, oh, shit, I just noticed a green light. I wasn't stopped in my tracks. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't paying attention. Green light. It's an outstanding listen. I listened to it. I think it took me cutting my grass twice, to listen to it. It's fantastic. It speaks a lot about the virtues and the way of life that we discuss, that we yearn for so passionately. That we want for our children. It speaks to a lot of that. Mm-hmm. And it does it in a way that is, yes, soothing, and it sounds like your fucking grandpa's talking to you, and everything about that is...
He's got the chill voice.
Everything about that is good. It's good. It slows you down to listen. You gotta... It's not by accident. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do what he does by accident. he understands that his cadence, his rhythm, all that stuff, it matters.
Yeah.
Because the only thing we have is our words. And if we just spew them out there in any old way with no real thought of how they're going to be received.
The tone and everything, how it's got to come out. Just like a performed song. It has to come out.
If Matthew McConaughey told me the same things that Alex Jones tells me, but in the Matthew McConaughey way, I probably wouldn't think it was half as crazy as whenever Alex Jones is yelling it at me on the TV. Like, it's just, there's a lot to it. So I'm going to say, go check it out. It's a great book. It's on Audible. It's a free credit. So I get, you get a free credit every month or whatever, and just keep stacking them up. And I'm going to go back to the 4 agreements again too, because dealing with my daughter this morning, I realized that I made some assumptions and I took some things personally.
It's a good book.
And I'm going to go back and read it for, I think, a 4th or 5th time. Yeah, man, that old truck, that journey to it, the individual that I bought it from, delivering it to me, other people trying to buy it.
The universe opened and said, your time.
And it wasn't just like, hey, universe, hey, man, it's about time Jeremy gets a cool truck. No. Jeremy is putting in a lot of work. He's gone over some hurdles. He's worked hard for this. There's no other place where this needs to go except go get your ass in that truck and drive it home slowly, because that's the only way it goes, and enjoy it, and don't get in a hurry working on it. Right? That's the big thing. Don't get ahead of yourself, because if you go and you fix everything on it tomorrow, you're probably going to fall right back in the old habit of, I need something new. I need something different. But if I can just slow myself down and say, okay, I'm only allowed to work on that truck 1 day a week, and it's going to be minor, whatever, that's pretty cool for me.
Yeah.
That's a big fucking step, man. Huge step. So I would like to, I'm just throwing that out there, that I'm proud of myself for that. I think that
it should be
catching yourself like that.
Get something that you want in life that you worked for. It's a proud moment that you should take pride on getting to that step, because it just didn't fall into your lap, kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to make sure that I'm not judging others and then doing the same thing. I do worry about that a little bit. I don't want to be a hypocrite. And I've said at great lengths that I don't believe that buying things is the way to make you happy. But I think what I'm realizing is that the journey, the hard work, the lessons, the fact that it's not brand new, it's not on a loan, it's not someone else's, the fact that the only way I could get it was a very specific set of circumstances with a very specific person, and only on a certain day. Holy shit. If that doesn't tell you that somebody else is really looking after you, or something else has a plan, or something else is out there, as long as you just fucking do good and put in the work,
it'll come.
It'll come. I don't know any other way to say it. It sounds like fucking vaporware. It sounds like snake oil. It's, I don't know what else to say. It's just insane, man. It's insane how things fall into your lap when you need them. Just like how Barrel Brands was for us.
Yeah.
It came, it did what it had to do, and it really, really helped. And it was perfect,
Yeah.
And so, anyway, man, I think this is the beginning of something cool. I hope I can get my kids to where they want to learn how to work on it, because the damn thing's just held together with sheet metal screws and bolts. It's nothing fancy,
Hey, you never know.
Yeah, you never know, man. I'd love to see one of them driving it one day. But anyhow, man, who knows? That's just me thinking of the future, and I got to stop doing that.
Nothing wrong with that either.
Yeah, but so we'll get off here, but I'll at least leave my part by saying that today I had a difficult time staying in the moment. My daughter was struggling this morning, and I was struggling too. And it took her leaving and not being happy, and me, shedding a few tears and talking to my therapist and working through it, to realize that it doesn't matter. It's over now. What matters now is the next thing that you do.
Yeah.
The next step that you take. Because if it's of the same vein from this morning, well, the rest of the day is fucked.
Yeah.
You don't want to do that.
No dwelling.
No dwelling. And so just like my therapist told me, and I'm going to pass it on because it's the old see one, do one, teach one that my Sarge taught me, take it easy on yourselves. Whether you're working hard or you haven't started the work yet, take it easy. We were taught these things by those before us, and they were taught before them, and they were taught before them, and there's none of us that have gotten it all right. And I will sit here and admit that I've gotten probably more wrong than right. And I'm starting to become proud of that because I survived all of those mistakes. I made it through them. We made it through our mistakes, Jeff, so that we could be here and talk about them.
Yeah.
And we're going to continue to be honest with each other and with ourselves, and we're going to continue to talk about them. The old truck today is nothing more than a metaphor. I didn't even have to really buy an old truck.
Yeah.
But it's that being able to slow down and apply yourself for a goal, to accomplish the goal, to realize the goal, even something as minute as going to pick up an old truck can really put you on the right path.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you set that intent in the right direction and you go about it the right way.
Sets your sights on what you want goal-wise to achieve, and then you
what do I have to do to get there?
You know, notching away,
yeah,
hiking away to the end point to get to that result.
Right. So, I got my old truck, and it symbolizes a lot of healing for me. So, what's it going to be for you guys? What are you going to reward yourself with that day that comes when you say, holy shit, I've worked so hard, I think I really do deserve something right now. As opposed to, I bought a car, I drive the balls off of it, I complain when it's broken, and the owner's manual doesn't have a single fold on it. There's not a speck of grease on it. You don't even know how much air to put in your fucking tires, people. You've never read the owner's manual for your car or your toaster because you already know it all.
Yeah.
Here's the shitter. We didn't get fucking owner's manuals. So we got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's true. Life doesn't give you those.
So I suggest, you got a car? Go read the fucking owner's manual. It might teach you something about life.
That's true. Very good.
All right. You got anything, Jeff?
That's it for me, man.
Cool. Thank you for listening to me rant today, folks. I was a live one today. I had to get it out.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, man. So Jeff and I can go take a nice slow drive in this old truck. Go show them what it's all about. And I'm sure we'll have something to say about it next week.
Always. Yeah.
All right, man. You guys have a good day. Until then, we love you. Thank you for listening and watching.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.